Ladies and I'm so tired. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode 8 of the Get Reelisms podcast. I am Adam Chase Rani.
And I am Christine Chen. And we have a guest.
Yes. Hi, I'm Courtney Olivier.
Yay.
Literally, like, I just told Courtney that she's going to introduce herself, and then Christine's like, and we have a guest.
I didn't introduce her, though. I just said we have a guest.
Guys, can we take a moment to share how horrible daylight savings time is?
Yes,
can we just take a moment? Because I honestly didn't even know. I thought we were going to start in an hour, like 15 minutes ago.
This is the business, you know?
I completely forgot about it. I saw my alarm clock and I'm like, wow, I have so much time, dude. What the fuck? I'm so productive. And then I go to my office and I look at my phone and it's like, yeah, you have actually like 10 minutes until the podcast starts. I'm like, oh, shit.
Hello.
Well, to be fair, you and I were up real late last night working, so.
Yeah, and I didn't go to bed. Yeah, I didn't go to bed till probably like 6 a.m. So, you know.
What were you guys working on?
Well, I was freaking out about all the parties that we have to do for ERZULIE, and so I've been like very just anxious. And then I messaged Adam, not expecting him to be awake, about
and I just responded immediately.
About the podcast, and then I was like, oh shit, you're awake. But you're in the writing zone, correct?
Yeah, I'm just been in that writing zone. I've talked to friends who gave me like amazing notes, you know, like on some of the things that I've been writing. So like that's just been like it's so weird. Like I go into the snowball effect where I'm like, oh, I can fix this. I should fix this. Oh, I should fix this. Oh, I should fix this. And then after like what I think is like 2 hours turns into like 6.5 hours. And I'm like, oh, well, I might as well do even more work. So I just keep working until I, you know, let the wheels come off basically. Yeah, so yeah, I'm in the flow. You're in the flow.
That's such a hard place to be at though. So once you're in the flow, you don't want to get out of the flow. It's a real thing. They've done studies on the flow. So
it's a real fucking thing. And a real thing. People who don't understand the flow will do anything in their possible way to disrupt your fucking flow. And
very true.
This is true.
It makes me all of them mad. And it makes me appreciate those people who like, you know, like those people who like have those headphones like in Starbucks and just like engage with what they're like working on their like laptop and stuff. For the longest time, I always thought like they were just a couple, like bunch of dorks, but I'm literally that dork. I now have turned into that person. I'm just like in full maximum overdrive with like my music and like my headphones and shit, and just like writing, you like and typing.
The social network, you're like, I'm plugged in, guys.
I'm Zuckerberg. I gone full Zuck.
There you go.
So Courtney, this is your first time on the podcast, right?
It is, yes.
First time live too, she said.
First time live.
Yeah, I've never done Instagram Live, so this is fun. It's interesting. I've never done a podcast either. So, you know, first time for everything. This training wheel's coming off, you know? Like, I'm just glad that my computer works because it's a dinosaur. I'm like, oh my God, technology. But no, it's all good. It's working out.
And it works. And you just recently moved too, right?
I did. So I'm now in Atlanta. I'm excited. It's fun. It's very busy here. Mm-hmm. You know, it was kind of like going from one extreme to the other because LA was still very much like locked down and everything was really slow. Right. You couldn't go anywhere. There was no events. I think people just got really fatigued by like the whole stuff that went on like the 2 years prior, that even when like things opened back up, there was still a lot of restrictions around it. So like nobody wanted to go anywhere. There was never anything to do. It was like, you know, we take for granted having places to go and communities that meet places and do things. And it's like such a normal part of how we live when I didn't have that anymore. And LA was kind of like open. I was like, this is really boring and like not working for me anymore. And I was like, I just need to go to a bustling market. And
how long were you in LA before you moved?
like 8 years. My
okay.
adult life.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just the thing, because like it seems like maybe like a 10-year influx, like around like 10 years, people are like, I'm bored, and then they like start to funnel, because I feel like the Austin people, because I funneled over to LA and you funneled over to somewhere else, and like people are just like fun. I think it's just like everybody is just, it's that 10-year mark where you're like, look, I'm gonna try someplace else. So
exactly. And depending on like where you are, like, because I looked at Atlanta before, because a lot of actors moved to Atlanta around 2016, 2017, but at that point I had only been in LA like four years, and I was just starting to get into good rooms. You were just
working,
like things were just starting to build the momentum, and it looked trendy, but I was like, I don't know, that market's still kind of small. But now, you know, they shoot full on shows, series regulars, guest stars get cast from this market. It's not just like a day player market anymore. You know, they don't even want people flying out from LA just to do a gig anymore. They want people here. And so it's really grown so much. So it's kind of like, well, now, you know, for my casting, it's probably a good time. So yeah, so now I'm in Atlanta, and, you know.
Are you, I mean, I don't know how fast you move in, but you're fully like settled and
so I have a 3-story townhouse in Atlanta, which I would never, this would be like probably like, it's just me and one other person. And it probably would be like 3,000 each. Like in LA. I've never had this much space in my adult life. And of course, I've been so busy that like I have a garage full of unpacked boxes and books. And it's just like, whenever I do get time to myself, I don't want to go down to the cold garage. It's freezing here, by the way. I think it was 19 degrees last night.
Oh God.
Yeah. Like weather differences. It's like so cold. It's like, do I really want to go up 3 flights of stairs and
not really
unpack things that were in that one closet?
No.
It's like, so I'm putting it off.
Spring cleaning is there for a reason, you know.
I know. I've got like the necessities, you know, my self-tape stuff, but I have not, and then my kitchen stuff, but I have not like fully, you know, my living room is, you know, I got some plants. I did that area because it's very bright, so I love like windows and stuff, but outside of that, you know, my TV and stuff, I'm like, nope, I will get to that when I get to it. But probably, you know, when things kind of slow down a little bit after pilot season, I'll be able to focus on like
I have the opposite issue. I couldn't get any work done until I got everything out, because this is the first time for me that all my stuff is in one city.
Yeah, because you probably have stuff in storage. Or like...
Yeah, I had stuff. So since I had driven to Los Angeles with whatever fit in my CRV, I had stuff spread out in 3 cities. So I had stuff.
Wait, so you moved to LA?
Yes.
You live in LA?
Yes.
I didn't know
she
that.
left me, Courtney.
I thought you were in Louisiana this whole time.
Well, I was.
When did you move?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I was in Louisiana, and then I went to, so Shreveport was where I was. Mm-hmm. And then I moved over to, just realized my entire microphone is just for show. Wasn't even plugged in. Cool.
Oh.
Wow. This is just a prop, guys.
You know, whatever. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine.
Anyway, I was in Shreveport around Christmas, like around the holidays, and it kind of worked out. My roommate got a job in Mississippi. So my original plan of splitting time between Louisiana, the 2 LAs, basically got rushed. And I'm like, you know what? This is the world is telling me it's now, basically. Okay. And so I packed up a car full of stuff, dropped it off in LA. I was there for about a month with the intention of finding a permanent spot. And I did. I'm living with Roxy. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
she moved
Roxy
too, because she was in Culver City.
Yes, she did move. So she moved because they've been wanting to for a while. So Roxy's married, and they were in a tiny ass apartment in Culver, but this gave them the opportunity to be able to upgrade to a house. So I lucked out.
Nice.
So I have we have a house in Van Nuys across from Balboa, and I've had the opposite problem where I couldn't get any work done because I kept wondering, I didn't know where anything, it would be as simple as like, where's the pen or my pencil or something. Sure. And I would have no clue, and it would just give me a lot of anxiety. So I went full blast, like Peyton came here not too long ago, a few days ago, and like everything,
really?
like, yeah, because we were working on
the planning and stuff.
And everything. She came over and everything was like decorated. I'm like, I did this like today because I was like freaking out. So
yeah, I feel you. I was like just a smidgen of that, just like the living room area. I was like, I have to have somewhere nice to sit and think, but the rest, I'm like, I have so many books and like hangers. Like, no, I don't care.
I'll push it till tomorrow, like, next week, next year, 2 years.
No, but yeah, no, I totally understand that too. I thought I was going to be like that, but then when I got here, I was like, okay,
like, it can wait.
It can wait. Yeah, because
I just haven't seen some of the stuff in like 4 years. So I'm like, wow, it's Christmas again.
I know, you moved a lot. Yeah. So how has that been? Like Louisiana, LA, like you weren't really in Louisiana that long, right?
No, I was in Louisiana for about a year and a half, enough to establish residency so that I could make ERZULIE, which was always my goal. And then, now I'm here. I finally have been sleeping on a mattress. I've been sleeping on an air mattress for a very long time. Basically, I packed up my stuff in 2019 in Austin, put it in storage unit. And I knew this move would happen at some point, and I just didn't want to commit to like buying anything, I just wanted everything to be temporary. And now it's not temporary. Now I can't fail. I've made it very difficult to move from here. So
now that everything's in LA, you're
gridlocked,
dude.
Here, I literally, I did it on purpose, really subconsciously or consciously too. Where I'm like, you know what? It has to work because everything is here. Everything is literally here. So moving now from here would be a major pain in the butt. But I drove a U-Haul completely filled.
Same
here.
Same here in Austin. That's how I feel. And it's just only 2 years. That was like, no, I'm sorry, 3 years ago. And I'm still feeling like I'm not going anywhere for a while, dude.
You don't want to have to do that again. It's like, this is why people do this like once or twice, probably.
Because I moved
in their lives.
Yeah. And I moved way before I got into the industry. But I moved from Oakland, California, the Bay Area, all the way to Austin. And after that, I was like, I think I'm never going to move ever again.
It's too much.
It's real. Shout out to anybody and everybody who is just like, I move once every 2 or 3 years. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. Yeah. But we were talking about, Christine, your gig that was may or may not going to happen in Morocco.
Oh yeah. So yes, as everyone knows, I or whoever listens to the podcast, I was supposed to be in Morocco 2 days before, like we're about to book tickets and all that stuff. They're like, we're really sorry. We know you just literally signed the deal memo. I told my other production that I couldn't do their production anymore. And they're like, we had to have an emergency meeting and like push our dates up a week. And so then it just didn't make sense because the earliest I absolutely could have gotten to Morocco was March 4th. I had to move. So, and they pushed it a week earlier, which means that I would have had to started March 7th without having looked at a schedule. Yeah. So they're like, this just doesn't make sense. So I'm like, I get it. It didn't. Yeah. So it worked out fine because I'm with the production again that I told. It's like, please take me back. I feel like the annoying, girlfriend that can't make up their mind.
How long was the gig?
It was supposed to be 30 days in Morocco.
Wow.
Yeah, but this works out better.
Yeah, I was going to say that was probably going to put a lot more stress on you considering all the plans for ERZULIE and stuff.
This worked out better because we've been people have been following along. We've been planning like we're planning like 10 parties pretty much, to probably more than that actually, for ERZULIE coming for the release in May. So
good God. Yes.
Yeah. And so, no, this has been, thank goodness that it, didn't work out. Cause right now I'm like freaking out and I'm here in the States. I can't imagine what it would have been like if I had to do everything on a different time zone and everything. So
yeah, the podcast would have been wacko for sure.
Party in Ireland. Yeah. I would love to party in Ireland. Midnight Preachers sings the song. Remember the music that you and Diana drive back from in the car. That's their music, and their song is in the credits as well. So yes, which one of our investors who had never seen the film just recently saw it and was like, "What is this song that's at the end? It's so good." It's Midnight.
I loved that song too. I was like, "Oh my God, yes,
it is so beautiful." Yes. So yeah, no, exciting things that they kind of tell you, but not really. It's one of those things where you hear about it, but it's only when you're in the moment that you realize like what it really means. So
yeah.
When you're nobody and you're starting off and everything, distribution companies like tell you like, oh, we're going to help you put like a marketing team and all this stuff. And then we're going to trailers and all this like really nice stuff that they tell you. But what they really mean is that like, they'll look at your stuff and give you a lot of notes that they expect you to do all yourself because it's not worth their time and effort and money to do it. So you end up having to do everything. So we're doing like Peyton and I are doing the work of like entire marketing teams, So
yeah.
So they're so it's kind of like they want you to ask them for approval to do everything.
Yes.
But you're doing everything.
Correct.
There's no help. Like it's just like, oh, just run it by me.
Yes.
And I will have no.
You can't do anything without coming through us. Yes.
But we're not going to like help you execute it. Oh, that's
Mommy and Daddy has to prove everything, but we're not going to do anything for it. So it's been really frustrating. It's a good learning experience. But it's on their schedule, right? So it's like, I'll have finally a block of time where I'm not on set and doing 50 million things. I'm like, here's all the things that you need. And then it's like crickets. And then it's like, when I'm at my peak, most busy, I'm on set, I'm getting texts when I'm on set being like, send these things. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. So it's a hurry up and wait.
But we're in that process where it's a lot of approval. So we are finalizing our assets. So our poster, there was a lot of back and forth. It was Peyton and I being like, okay, well, they have these notes for the poster and Colby is on set. So let's just figure it out ourselves. So we're like sitting there, like turning layers on and off, being like, I think this looks good. And then like getting it someplace where we're like, I think we did a good job. Like not knowing Photoshop and we sent it to them. They were happy with what it is.
Do we have a poster?
We do. We can't reveal it quite yet because they have to do the mommy and daddy have to approve real quick.
Okay.
And then once they approve, yes, we will be revealing the poster soon. And I have a sizzle that I can't post either until it gets approved. I'm recutting a longer version of the trailer. We have a shorter 45 second, 60 second, but I got to cut a 90 second. Again, I have to do it.
When a marketing team of like 10 people could have easily done
exactly
this.
While simultaneously have to do an entire marketing campaign for ERZULIE, which is so I don't know how much you've heard through the grapevine, but May is our ERZULIE Party Month.
Yes.
And it's leading up to our release date in June. We haven't officially announced the release date, but we've been kind of sliding it into the podcast. Mm-hmm. So because you guys are special and you guys deserve to know the dates sooner.
I heard the last episode.
Yes, exactly. So June 14th is our official release date on video on demand, iTunes, and stuff like that. And so the month of May, we have planned a crap load of screening parties. So what's special about this screening party is that I feel like ERZULIE is very much, I really want it to be a cult classic. And I don't want it to be a like, we take ourselves too seriously and we're like sitting in the theater and nobody can talk to each other and stuff. I want people to get plastered and watch the film, you know, type thing. And so we're combining it with like real fun events. So our first event is Austin. It will be on May 7th at Kitty Cohen. Kitty Cohen is a place that I've been to many, many times, because it's a spot where a lot of film people have their wrap parties. What's cool about it is in the
I've
back.
been to Kitty Cohen.
Yeah, in the back area, there's a pool, a little tiny mini pool. So we're gonna throw some mermaids in there while we watch the film. So that'll be
how
fun.
Exciting! That's awesome.
Yes, and then May 8th. I know it's Mother's Day, but we can't really figure out a workaround. But so it's going to be Mothers and Mermaids. But San Marcos, there is the river. And as you know, our film is very tied to tubing. That's the inspiration for the tubing scenes. And so we're going to do a mermaid night float. And so, yeah, it'll be in San Marcos. And from there, the following week, May 13th has been locked. We're going to be at the Phoenix Underground, which is this huge club, huge. Our mission right now is to fill this thing because it can fit like 1,500 people in this place, this joint. Yeah. So our mission is to fill it with the entire city of Shreveport, if we can.
Done and done.
And so that's May 13th, because Friday the 13th, it will be in Shreveport. And then on the 15th, we are doing a mermaid drag party in New Orleans. So that'll be super fun.
Yeah.
And wait, May 7th, Austin. Duly noted. Gonna try and make it good. We hope so. If you do make it, if you plan on being there on May 7th, I know that one of the bands, my composer, Nick Longoria, his band Infugue, his music is also in ERZULIE. And so they're going to do a little bit of performance prior to the film. So if you figure out whether you can make it May 7th, please, we would love you to perform as well. So just let me, you can't be a mermaid. Yes, you can.
Deal breaker.
So
Please come.
Yeah, please come. We will love that. And then, so May 15th, the drag show in New Orleans. And then the following, we're going to be at the California Mermaid Convention in Sacramento. So that's a whole week long of mermaiding, parades, and stuff like that. The following week, this is the part we're trying to figure out. It's the LA premiere. We have 3 options right now. We're just trying to explore costs and budgets and stuff, because when you do everything yourself, you also have to pay for everything yourself. So, and then, well, Jaquan, I'm waiting to do a movie with you. And then June 18th is our New York premiere. So Coney Island, there's also Mermaid Parade there. So we're going to be tagging onto that. And we're trying to join as many mermaid events as possible. The San Marcos folks I just got in contact with, they have a parade in September. They're like, please come. So I'm like, yes, we will. So yeah, it's going to be a mermaid extravaganza.
Very creative, very fun.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to try. I don't know how many of them I'm going to be able to make, but I don't know.
Hopefully a lot of them.
I know, like me and the girls are like trying to figure out like
which one.
Yeah, now that I'm on this side, I'm kind of like, okay.
How far is Shreveport from you? Is Shreveport closer, or is Austin closer?
I would think it would be less than a day, right?
It is, yeah, because that was one of the legs that I took when I came out here. I stayed in Shreveport,
right? And
I believe that I think the next stop was Birmingham or something like that. Yeah. But I could have gone on. I think it was like 8 or 7, like with 2 of those trips, because I think Birmingham to here was nothing. So yeah, I think it was total, it might be like 8 hours.
Yeah, I think you should come to Shreveport. Yeah, I know Shreveport as a city seems like it's not as exciting as Austin and stuff like that, but because of that, when you have an event, people show up. Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and we have stuff like where it doesn't just shut down at 2; it goes to like 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning. All my debauchery times have all been in Shreveport, so so yeah, you should come. You should see this club. It is huge, so big. So we got to fill it. That's probably where we're going to have the PR, the step and repeat, the red carpet type stuff. It's being headed up by my friend Stephen Knight, who did the PR for this event in Shreveport called Prize Fest. So it's going to be on the news and billboard, stuff like that. So I think I want the Shreveport to come and represent, because it's going to be the thing to go to. So where I'm already like, we did a FaceTime virtual tour. I did it yesterday. Camille and them were there in Shreveport. And we just saw like the walls of TVs and this like cool lighting structure where like letters can like float around it. So we're gonna I want to design like it saying ERZULIE. Mm-hmm. And then there's this big LED wall that I want to like design. And then I have ideas of like, I don't know how hard it is, but on the TVs, like before the screening, like have mermaids go from screen to screen. Yeah. So just ideas. So
swim with mermaids? Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. I guess we could segue a little bit to what did you think when I was like, Courtney, please try out for this film?
I was surprised. Yes. So me and Christine, we worked together on the movie with Jaquan, who like popped in. I don't know if he's still here.
Yes,
Jaquan. So we had met him. I had met him like that summer, a few months before, because in December you were casting ERZULIE, I think.
Yes, I was. Well, it was like January, because it was.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was. I had started casting in December, but it was like people that I kind of already knew that was putting it on. But Wendy was the one that I was like really held up on. And the reason why I know it was January was because I was on production on this set that was not very fun. But it was in the middle of Snowvid. So as you know, in Austin, this
remember Snowvid?
Ice storm hit and shut everything down. It was a blessing to me, because what happened is it gave me a week of like time to work on my stuff, basically. So that's where I did all my casting.
Okay. You remember that podcast, Christine? How fucking gleeful and joyful you were, and I was here in my like fucking powerless home using fucking batteries and shit, and I'm just like, welcome to the podcast, everybody. And then Christine's like, I'm just working so much. And it's just like, God damn it. Hey, stop it.
It's so funny too, because I was before I was at Kelly's, our production designer's house, before Snowvid hit. And I left that weekend to go to my friend, former roommate Carl's place. And then Snowvid hit, and she lost power, water, everything. I had everything. And she was like, fuck you. How do you always do this? Like, you somehow leave and like you get the best luck, and I am left with like the worst luck ever. She's like melting snow, and I'm like, Kelly, can you design this one thing for me? She's like, fuck you.
No.
Yeah,
I'm trying to survive
right now.
Oh God. I know. I was reading Facebook posts of people like in Texas at that time, and I never thought about what that would be like, or what you would have to do. And people were going out into their pools at their apartment places and getting the water from it and like putting it in their toilets to, it was just like, oh my God, I'd never thought about, but anyway, yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I have power. I have, yes, I couldn't go anywhere, but like, it was fine. Nobody could go anywhere. And we just, I used that entire week that production was shut down and casted my entire film. It's great.
Right. And I think it was like, So we had met each other the summer before on that. And I played a completely different role in that. You can't tell now, but I play a lot of like lawyers and, you know, people with like that kind of professional background because it's polished.
Yes.
And so, and on that film, that was my profession, but it was more of like a family drama. And I remember seeing on Facebook, you were looking for something. I think you either posted on your actual Facebook post or you posted it in a group. And I was like, oh, Christine's in that group. Or maybe it was on your actual Facebook. But you posted like, I'm looking for somebody. And like in my mind, this is going to sound crazy, but I saw Alfre Woodard. I was like, that's what she's describing. Like, no, because I would have submitted if, you know, because I thought that it said 40s, 50s, or maybe it said 30s, 40s or something. And I wasn't in the 30s club yet. So I was like, but I would not have thought of Alfre Woodard if it said 30s, 40s. So I don't know. Maybe the age threw me off.
That's possible. Yeah.
And I think it was like clearly like for older, like
I think when we started it, we had wanted her to be slightly older, but then like you kind of blew us out of the water and we're like, well, we're going to pivot. I didn't know that. So yeah, we just wanted somebody from the friend group that felt older and wiser, just wiser.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, every leader per se is always like the oldest, usually like, typically like in those tropes. Right.
Yeah. And I thought for some reason that was just the person that came to my mind.
Right.
I didn't know the log line of the project, but I thought of like Big Little Lies, or like, I thought all the cast was going to be like, you know, just very older, grounded, like women with like these life experiences. Like, I just thought, oh, so I didn't say anything on that post. And so then like some time went by and, I think Bruce put me on Facebook or something, and you saw my picture and then you were like, oh, I'll have Courtney read for it. And so you sent me, it was like on a Friday or Saturday, I remember. And you sent me, you were like, I'd really like for you to read for something. And I was like, it's in Louisiana, you know, this and that. And I was like, you know, I'll read for it, you know, and if it's a good fit, you know, it's a good fit, and, you know, we'll go from there. And I remember thinking, I'm going to get off book, you know, she's going to send me a few scenes, like, I'll be straight. and like, she sent me like 8 scenes, and I total, I think it was 47 pages or something. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, it's not, like, so then I started researching. I already knew a little bit about the world, but I tried to research some things that could give the specificity that I needed to like do a decent audition.
Yeah.
And so I started researching some things and creating a little bit of the relationships with the different friends that I had that were my friends in the script. And then I think I had like 4 hours or something, like 4 or 5 hours. And and then, so we did the auditions. I read a couple times, and Leela was there. I think everybody else was there, right? Besides Zoe wasn't cast yet.
Faye was not, or Faye was, but wasn't.
Right. That was, a lot of moving around, but
lots of moving around pieces.
Exactly. So I had to read with like, I think slightly, I don't know,
a few different people,
right? Some different scenes with different people. And then and then
you were there.
And you guys were like, I didn't know I was gonna get told on camera, and you're like, so we think you're it. You're Wendy. Because I thought I was gonna have to read again. I was like, I was like, you know, and I was like, oh, okay. And so, you know, just to be able to, that was like in the middle of the pandemic kind of. And like,
it could have went really badly. I could have revealed it. You could have been like, well, about that.
So maybe
we made it work. We did it. We did it. And you know, we got to live in a cabin and like, you know, live on this kind of like summer camp, like where everything is there. And it was so
describe
cozy.
That experience. Because I undersold it because I wanted to make sure people prepared for cabin living. But what do you think about it?
You undersold it real well. I never seen a great used car salesman other than Christine.
Hey.
And no, listen, this is props to you because I'm the one who signed up and wanted to do it in the first place. I was all on board.
I told you you should prepare for camping. Did I not?
Well, I mean, you told me prepare for like lodging, camping situation.
Yes.
And I'm just like, it'll be like summer camp. Like I've been to summer camp before, like 3 times.
It was for the actors. All right, crew maybe a little rougher, but actors, it was the summer camp.
It was like, yeah, I mean, I talked about it ad nauseum. Like I just spent an entire episode where I'm just like, half my body fell into the pool. My body turned into a roadmap covered in mosquitoes, bites. You know, it was interesting to say.
It was hard,
but I was still having fun. I still wanted to do it despite of everything that I'm just like, you know, my feet were, you know, getting destroyed and shit like that. I still had a good time. I still had a great time.
I think it was great fun. I loved it. I thought it was so romantic. Like I was like, oh, we're like in a cabin, and
right.
The first time I saw the cabin, it was dressed already, and
yeah, it was. Kelly did it in the the week before shooting.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, she had like all that week to, you know, to set dress, like everything, like especially the pool stuff. So yeah, so it must have been awesome to like live in that. You know, live in that set for a while. I didn't even think about it till right now.
Yeah, it was like such a gift, you know, like you're coming from LA and the environment is different. The weather is different, you know, just the little things like waking up, you know, it usually rained in the morning. It's hot, it's different. And you kind of, the psychology of the environment is kind of like doing its magic. And it's just nice to like do stuff on location and like, I guess it just imbues you with like different energy and like a different point of view on things. Your mind kind of is clear.
More grounded.
You know, Zoe and Elizabeth were also in the cabin with me. And, you know, just wake up, have some tea, you know, walk over to like the meal hall area, get some breakfast, you know, and there was open fields, and like the week before, I guess people were doing yoga and, you know, waking up, and, you know, it was very like, it was like a retreat kind of, you know what I mean? Like a little bit, but, you know, you still have like the mosquitoes and all that, but I don't know. I felt like it was a gift, like of an experience. You know, a lot of times you work on sound stages, you're in a trailer by yourself. And let's be honest, those things are kind of lonely. Like they're just like really boring, and just you feel kind of like, you know, and, you know, just the warmth and everybody's energy. I think people were really excited to make it and ready to have fun. So it was just kind of like a very special experience. I don't think people get to make films like that anymore with that much of like
prep. Zoe, both Zoe and I'm interested in hearing your opinion on it, but Zoe and Diana both said that like, it really helped with their characters really just having the opportunity to live and bond organically together. I mean, so many people who have had the opportunity to see a sneak peek of the film have the one big thing that they keep pointing out is how real the friendship is and how it felt like all of you guys were friends with each other for a long time. And I think that has to do with the time that you guys had to live together and bond. I mean, like nothing makes you connect with somebody more than seeing them naked accidentally.
That's true. True. And we, you know, we had moments like everybody, you know, kind of had their moments with each other, and, you know, you're just comfortable, you know, you're able to just kind of relax and talk and, you know, get to know each other a little bit. And I think it's also a credit to the writing because each character is so clearly in their different lane. You know, and then we're also different as people, and you know, those colors are very like clear. And when you see us all on screen, like I in the beginning, everybody was like, "Oh, my Citrine, my cat knocked over my computer." Citrine, don't be getting froggy.
Animals sabotaging technology,
right?
Always a thing.
Oh
God, what was I saying? But
staying on set, more intimacy, like with the set and also with the cast, you know, staying
and yes, people like that comment actually confused me in the beginning because I didn't really know what people were talking about, because they'd be like, yeah, you guys all seem like you're really friends, like you really like each other, yeah, and we'd be like,
duh.
Like we were like, what? But then I have seen like stupid Applebee's commercials where it's like, y'all aren't friends, y'all don't fucking know each other. You know what I mean? Like you're like, they're like dipping the boneless wings and they're all like, hey,
it's a party.
Yeah. And it's like, you guys aren't friends. You guys like audition together in a group and like, you know what I mean? You got to call back, like whatever. It's like, no, I've definitely seen movies where people are just kind of like generic with each other. And it's like, you guys aren't really friends. You know what I mean?
There's nothing there. Yeah.
And yeah, I do think that there was a lot of, you know, time spent and finding the specificity with each other, and to where by the time, you know, we started filming and the order in which we filmed and everything, it's kind of like, yeah, we definitely had those levels of comfortability with each other and chemistry and little like, you know, dynamics between all of us, you know, because you have a different relationship with everybody. Yeah. Slightly, you know.
Somebody joined in, I was going to just tell them, they asked, what are you guys talking about? Well, we are talking about our film ERZULIE and what it was like for the actors to form a bond, because they essentially had to live together on set, which really helped, I think, form a genuine connection and relationship, which is what drove the stories, which was really important to me. When Camille and I were writing, that was a big thing, was because our intention is that we wanted girls that were entering or at that cusp of like being a teen to have their group of friends that they love, and they watch this film, and then life happens and adulting happens, and 10 years later they come together with hopefully the same group of friends and rewatch the movie like they did back in the day, and just remember what it's like to just not have to adult and just have fun and be friends. And that was kind of the thought process. So it makes me happy knowing that you guys felt that connection with each other. So
for sure. Yeah.
How was the preparation process for you?
For me, I think it's different with every character, and it's different for every project. It's not always the same. I think I like to go with my instincts. I feel like, you know, if you're in a world that's very specific, you know, it's a financial drama, like you have to know the specifics of that world first, like the literal things. But this piece with Wendy, you know, I kind of dive more so into like, yes, how each of her friendships are different. I created the memories for all of that, where I met all of them, you know, how our relationship has evolved over time, and like what the power dynamic is with each relationship, and how like the memories creating that I created behind those things, so that I had a different relationship with every girl. And then also because my backstory, Wendy's backstory, it's not really mentioned that much in the film, but a lot of like what drives her decisions in the film has to do with like her being at this kind of cross, like she's lost. She's essentially lost. Yeah. She is somebody who is a social justice community leader type of person. Those people, you know, their value is how they can help people or provide a service or provide a place, and if that's taken from you and you no longer have that, it's kind of like an identity crisis. And so I went and created all of the emotions and feelings behind that, what got me into social justice work, who I looked up to in that realm, and like things like that. But I like to stay in imagination and things that affect me more emotionally, and things that I can feel more in my body with like smells and like sounds, and you creating like, yes, you're creating the memories. It's not just visual though, although I think you start with it visually, but the you want to give yourself the most like emotional gas, so that when you're filming and it's a 16-hour day, and you know you just had lasagna for lunch, and now you gotta go and like
consistency.
It's like you gotta like find these like kind of like really important triggering things, so that they're accessible to you when you need them. And so with her, the more cerebral intellectual work that I did was more so around like, you know, why I was into that line of work, and you know what the trajectory of my life had been up until that point. And then, you know, more of the emotional stuff was, you know, where is Wendy right now? Like she's feeling like a failure. You know, Wendy is very straightforward. You know, she's very logical. She's layered, but she's straightforward.
Did you actually like relate to her much?
I do. Like, I relate to her essence.
Okay.
Like, I think we have a similar essence. I'm a little saucier than Wendy, you know what I mean? Like, Wendy's very corporate to me, like more so than I am. Like, I'm a little more reactionary than her. I think she's very much think before you speak. And I think that when people look to you to lead or to be a leader, and you have that idea about yourself, like, I have to control everything, because if I don't have the answers and if I'm not perfect, people do not give me the grace of, you know, I don't know how to be this like Pisces who's like fucked up and drunk and like, I'm just gonna, you know, like do some lines and like play my guitar. Like, she's not somebody that like leans into like her tragedy or romanticizes it. Like, I'm gonna journal. Like, she does not know who she is in this context. And I think that I'm a little bit more like, I wear my emotions on my sleeves a little bit more than she does.
Okay.
Because I think Wendy, she doesn't feel safe doing that at all. I don't think that she feels like, well, if I don't have the answers and if I'm not the one, you know, providing or creating this, it's just nobody's needs are going to get met. So I can do it. So I'll do it. And then if she can't, she doesn't feel like stable, like there's no stability. She doesn't feel safe. She doesn't know that aspect of herself and hasn't really had time to explore that. This is kind of, you know, what happens right before, what drives her to have this retreat with her friends is kind of like a last ditch effort to like, re-find herself. So
be together. Yeah.
So yeah. And yes. And I think she, you know, had probably been avoiding talking to them for a little bit because you have to update people on your life. And I don't think she wanted to face a lot of like, what happened and where she is. Like, she's not the person that like lost her car or is back on bills. Like, she's not that person. She's the person that everybody else comes to for being to be safe. And if she's created her life that way and her friend circle, they look to her for that, and she's not being that, you know, and she's not able to be that, it's kind of like, does she trust that her needs are going to be met? And, you know, they'll still, of course, they're her friends, you know, they love her, but are you comfortable with that? And, you know, Wendy's definitely not. So it's definitely like that struggle there with, you know, the line of like her vulnerability and how comfortable she is with being vulnerable.
Yeah. It's funny because the way you describe who you usually are is more in line, I think, with Ari, right? Is that...
I would say that, yeah. Like,
with Ari, the character.
Like, I'm not as like I'm not as much of a mess as Ari, but like, I feel like Ari was just, I mean, she was trying to get laid. Like, yeah, no spoilers. But it's like, I don't know if I go that far. Like, but like, with like my responses to things, I'm definitely like a little quippier. But in certain contexts, when I approach certain things, I have awareness and decorum, and I know that I cannot get away with certain things, and people look to me to be a certain way, and I can't indulge in certain things. So I think in certain contexts, people would be like, oh no, you're totally Wendy. Well, you know, in that context, I definitely would be more of that. But like me and mine, more natural self. Yeah, I'm more of like that active, like less of that like quiet strength or resilience. I'm a little bit more like, I don't know, not aggressive, but like active.
Yeah. You're also a little bit of Violet, right? Maybe
a little bit. Like, I think like, yeah.
Fiery.
Definitely. Yeah. She has like, Elizabeth herself has a very much like an inner child aspect to her personality as well. It's like so nice to see that like genuinely be in somebody, you know. I didn't really see that on the page, but I feel like she brought that to it. And I
wrote that role for her specifically. So, because I've worked with her a lot. And so that's probably why you saw things about the character that you didn't see in the script, but she brought in specifically. So yeah, it's totally because like I had worked with her so 2 other films prior to that, and specifically wrote that role for her, knowing she would bring that. So
right. And it's like everybody has their own like qualities and energy or color or whatever you want to say that like kind of completes the tone and the feeling, and it's really cool because we're all so different. But I don't think we we stayed in our own lanes, even though at some point in the scripts, in the script, it gets a little crazy, but still everybody's pretty much acting in service to the character and being true to the character, I think.
Well, and how y'all come together too. No spoilers, but like, especially in the third act, like, you guys, like, of course, like in any hero's journey, put the differences aside and kind of understand each other's weaknesses and almost embrace them in a way,
Right.
That's
me and Faye, like we have like we're the most like far apart, like just looking at it face value. But I think that both of us have a tendency to like minimize ourselves if we feel uncomfortable or like unsafe, but Faye, there are the power dynamics a little bit different there. And we butted heads, in the film. And so I think there's a reason for that. It's because we're kind of crossing over, like Faye's kind of finding her strength in a different way, and Wendy's kind of finding her vulnerability in a different way. And through that purification process, at the end, they kind of, come back. I don't want to spoil it. Sorry.
It's like a Venn diagram.
It's okay.
Yeah. Which makes
but it's
sense.
like a Venn diagram of all of y'all's like emotions. And then, somehow like you can see the differences in the middle of it, That's
exactly.
It's nice. That's kind of it's such a relatable story. That's why like I'm so excited for people to see this too. Like, I mean, it's not just like a creature feature, it's not just, like we're summoning mermaids and stuff. It's like, but there's something way more deeper inside that we cannot get into, because that in of itself exactly. We're just going to spoil the entire movie, but that in of itself is what defines the movie, and like that's the through line of it all, and that's what you want to stick around and see, ladies and gentlemen. So I like it. And also you did phenomenal. I know I'm like working in the crew doing set dressing, being very sweaty and smelly, but y'all killed it. No. You did absolutely phenomenal, especially like the things that I've seen and just being there in the moment too. You guys, how y'all interact with each other is kind of like one of the best interactions I've seen, like on and off the camera, like organically, that doesn't feel like it's like so fucking shoehorned, like an Applebee's commercial, like you mentioned, it's just like, oh no, you guys are naturally like funny. You guys are, good together, and you guys are wholesome together. That's kind of like what the impetus of it all is. So, and it's nice to see that. You don't see that, especially with a feature that we all have to stay together. And thank God we love each other. Thank God
thank God. That would have been a very difficult set if we didn't actually respect them.
It would have been very difficult.
It would have been extremely, like I keep saying time and time again that like that is definitely not a set that like any other set that I've been on could have, that the people could have recreated, because like it was all specifically picked. The dynamics were very intentional, and it is not a set for the faint of heart. I guess you would say that.
No.
Yeah, it was very fucking hard. Yeah. But what made me happy is knowing that after the film was all said and done, like you and Layla went to go to Costa Rica.
And, when I entered the Dirty 30, I was like, I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I went to Costa Rica in August.
How fun. I didn't know that. That's so rad.
Yeah. And Leela came with me, and it was like a little retreat, like a woman's retreat. We were reading our books and like making our smoothies in the morning,
life,
and going to happy hour. Yes, it was like it was paradise. It's so beautiful there, the air and all the plants. I mean, it's like all the monkeys like visiting us on the balcony. Like it was so fun.
You guys had monkeys just chilling with y'all? What the fuck?
Capuchin monkeys. They're kind of famous for those, and they're like
that's
the little
fucked
ones
up.
that, like,
I love
Michael Jackson and Justin Bieber. You see that? Yeah, they're like, and they're aggressive. Like I wasn't getting up that early to go visit with the monkeys, but because I heard the shenanigans, and I was like, no, because if you have your phone out, you know, they get real handsy. And I'm like, no, you're not about to take my phone in Costa Rica. Monkey.
Yeah, you don't want to play around a fisticuffs with a monkey.
Right. And if one of them gets excited, all of a sudden the entire trees are full of these monkeys. And there's like 18 of them on the balcony. And it's like, you know, it's scary. These are wild animals. What if one leaps on your face and just starts pulling your face off? Like, I don't know. Like, you just don't know what's gonna scare them. Like, you could just be trying to go back in and they could get scared, you know? I don't know. But they had fun out there with the monkeys, the capuchin monkeys in the morning. And there was a lot of wildlife and parrots. It was just really beautiful. But, and the monkeys were sweet for the most part, but there was some like super aggro ones at one point, but it was their fault. They brought out a banana, and you can't feed them because they're going to all start fighting.
My God.
Yeah.
I that happens to so many animals. I tried once feeding a baby, no, not a baby goat, but like a pretty good sized goat. And I fed it a banana, and it fucking bit me and my ass.
Oh, it bit you.
It fucked me up. I was 13 years old at the time, and I had absolutely no trust with animals. My dad and my mom thought it was the funniest fucking thing.
This was a goat?
This was a goat. Yeah. This was a goat.
Oh God, they have the sideways eyes. Oh, they freak me out.
Yeah. No, yeah. And then like right after I fed it, then the goat just like stared at me. It was just like, I'm waiting more, dude. And I'm just like, no.
You didn't
and then
think
it
that
just
far ahead, did you?
fucking like just started biting me and shit. And I'm just, I was freaking out. So I started crying, and my dad thought it was the funniest fucking thing. And like, there's a Kodak picture of me and just crying on the floor, just like trying to get away from this fucking goat.
We didn't have any horror stories with the animals there, but not that bad.
No, but I mean, like, but I know that feeling though, where just like, I'm not gonna start chilling out with these monkeys just so they can just fuck my shit up. I would love a cute selfie with them, but I'm not gonna risk my life.
Yeah,
you know.
Stay away. I'll just watch from. Yeah,
you guys, this is your kingdom. I'm in your kingdom. You know, I'm a visitor. I'm not going to be here for long. That's how I like to think of it.
But yeah, like we're all still, you know, we got our group chats, and Zoe sent us care packages.
Oh,
and then it took me like months because I was like, I have a weird thing with like starting things that I feel like I just really want to put a lot of like intention or focus on. And if I'm too busy, I just won't start them. So I did not mail my care packages till I got here to Atlanta, even though I had them boxed and ready to go for like 2 months before that. And then anyway, so I sent them a little care package, and we're like, you know, we're cute, we're friends. We'll keep up with
you guys
each other
are
and stuff,
the absolute sweetest. I found my card that y'all wrote like for each of the crew members.
So some people didn't get their
I
handwritten cards.
loved the card.
Dude, it made me cry.
Yeah.
You guys are the nicest fuckers I've ever met. Like how? Like it's so like I read the card like and I like read specifically like Layla's note and Diana's note too, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I wish I would have thanked them. So if y'all are watching this, thank you so much, and thank you, Courtney, for the nice lovely note as well. But you guys, the dynamic of you guys, I think all-star cast, 10 out of 10 would recommend, ladies and gentlemen.
Always recommend.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was I had that card too, and it definitely
warms my heart. I love it.
It made my day when I got it, because
I
had been so stressed out and just like, I don't know. You have this vision of wanting everybody to have a good time and to, you know, but in the moment, like every shit goes wrong and it's like stressful and everything. So it was a nice reminder, like, okay, like people still want to be here, and seems like people will still like it and it's fun. So, but I'm just glad that you guys became real friends in life as well. And that, what did you think when you got to watch the, in progress, part of the film, and why should people watch it?
People should watch it because it is fun. It is a feel-good adventure movie that takes a bite out of some really cool, interesting things. I mean, you have the voodoo hoodoo aspect, you have an LGBT aspect, you have, deeper, darker things like enriching the lives of these people and making them really specific and seeing them play out. But it's not preachy, it's not heavy, and it's fun and uplifting. And I think people need to feel that too when they watch a movie. I think sometimes it's like, we don't want to be too dark, or people don't really, indie films imitate life so much that people want an escape. And I think that it's like, it's a balance, you know what I mean? Like, you want to have fun and actually have some substance behind the things that you're exploring and like the themes that are being like tied into the film. And I think this film does a great job of that. It's physical, it's specific. We're on location in Louisiana. It has this mystical aspect or supernatural aspect to it that's really cool. And we don't get to see things like that necessarily on screen, like in that world, that specific, but also we're not making it literally about that. It's more about women and relationships and life and just the journey of like, going through certain things with each other and, still holding that love and space for each other. And I don't know, it's just very different, but fun still.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, I think that's a treat nowadays.
Good.
Yes.
What's next for you?
Oh gosh, what is next for me? So like acting wise, or
I don't know.
Life, acting.
Life.
Yeah, it's up to you.
The world is your oyster.
So I mean, well, we have quite a lot of stuff kind of going on, like the month of May and June. So that's exciting. Hopefully I'll be able to go to the Shreveport premiere.
I hope so
that would
too.
be fun.
Yes.
I could probably swing that one. I right before I did ERZULIE, I did a quick project for Netflix. And that one, I haven't got a release date for it, so I can't really say what it is, but that'll be fun. Just to like promote that. And yeah, I'm in the middle of like some business things here in Atlanta, just getting acclimated to the new city. I want to like plan a trip and go somewhere. I think I'm going to go to Morocco at the end of the year, just something fun, but I'm just taking it day by day, getting to know this market. It's different, but rolling with the punches and, just auditioning like crazy and, hopefully, some bookings I can talk about soon.
Yay.
Yeah.
I guess, did you have a favorite moment on set, or what was the most difficult scene for you?
I would say, well, the day that was the hardest day for me was like, I didn't know it was going to be a hard day, but it was a hard day, and I don't know why. It was a pool day, and when you're shooting something,
that was a hard day for me too.
waking up, I didn't think to myself, this will be the hard day.
Yeah.
But I think it was like a comfortable amount of days into filming. We're getting comfortable, like the kinks have been worked out, I think. And as an actor, that you do all the introspective work and, the emotional stuff. But when you get to set, you kind of have to throw it away. And we did rehearse, on Zoom a little bit, even before that. But, you do all that work and you do your work yourself. And then you come to set and, things kind of change on the day, or maybe something just isn't the way that you pictured it to some degree. And this particular scene, I had no reason to think that the person I was talking to would not be there. and because it had never happened up until that point, you know, you read stories where you're like, oh, well, in Silence of the Lambs, like, you know, like Jodie Foster didn't even talk to like, you know, you know, like it was like the script suit was just reading like the lines of the other person. Like, I know that can happen, but like it hadn't happened up until that point. So, and this was like a big moment. I don't want to spoil it, but you know, a lot of like why Wendy's kind of unraveling and like at this point. And I thought, you know, I would be speaking to the person and, you know, and so that day was a hard day because I think there was a lot of like technical things going on because we had like aerial shots and lighting from in the pool and squiggly lights on people and all kinds of stuff happening and like just a lot of technical lighting, photography stuff and the continuity of like where we were all standing. And it was just a lot of like technical things. And that day, that was just a hard day. I think everybody was kind of feeling it a little bit that day. Yeah. But you know, I don't know. I think everybody kind of takes ownership of their own energy and tries to be responsible with that. And if there's something that somebody needs, you know, we all as a cast would try to like jump in and like help that person. Like, what do you need? You know what I mean? Like, but so I felt, you know, safe and supported in my environment, but just my own perception of like performing through that, that was hard because I was like, you know, and sometimes you don't feel like you hit it out of the park. Of course
you did.
Oh yeah, in space.
But like, as an actor, you can't possibly think that every night you go home to your trailer, you're just gonna think like, that shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be some times where you're just like, I mean, I did my best.
I hope it was good. Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, it's just unrealistic, but you don't really know that you even have that belief until you have a problem or you're feeling kind of like, and it's like, well, you're not always just going to feel like, you know, it was right or whatever, or what you had in your mind. And so that was just hard because, you know, that's a big moment. And that the person just wasn't physically there for me. So because of like technical things and stuff. So I think that was just probably the hardest day. That day I was kind of like, you know.
That was a hard day. I know
the
which
actor
day you're
sad day.
about.
The actor sad day where you go home and you're like, I'm a piece of shit. You know, like, you know, the actory stuff, the
the self-sabotaging day.
Like I'm pretty quick though. Like I'll be mad for like an hour and a half and then I'm good.
You bounce back. So, yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't do the wallowing. I don't really do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get back up the next day and you know, you're ready. So that was a hard day. But other than that, you know, every day had its own like challenges, but I think it kind of helped. I think it helped me because Wendy's a logical person kind of dealing with these circumstances from like a place of uncertainty and unsurety and insecurity kind of a lot, but she's still confident in the leader. So it kind of worked for me if I didn't have all the perfect answers to everything. And I didn't know, like, I just kind of let that discovery kind of live and breathe and just, you know, I just kind of went with it, you know?
Yeah.
So
did you have a favorite day?
A favorite day? Oh my, I mean, I see the days bleed together because we were sleeping in the day and filming at night. And I'm like, what was day 2? Like, I don't remember.
Everything is a blur.
Yeah. It's like, I remember moments, but I don't remember what a specific day was. I know I really liked the day or whatever day we did the candle attic thing.
The
up in the loft.
That was a nice day.
B&B.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was in my pajamas all day. Yeah. So that was fun. And I love the fight scenes with Zoe. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, those were fun. I like those days. I think those were like closer to the ending of filming though. There was like so many great moments. I mean, Zoe would make a Target run and I'd like give her a list and she'd come back with food and we would like make little salads and stuff in the cabin, and then like, you know, just like moments and making sure that we got the stationery, and we started writing the cards for everybody and made sure everybody had one, and just like groups, little things that we did together.
Yeah.
Walks on the property, you know. It was all good times, great moments. And the crew was so sweet. You know, Francis and Nikki, the girls, you know, coming in with the hot towels. Killer. And yeah, like, I don't know. I guess because I expected the last day to be hard. When I think of like the hard day, I don't think of that for me. I think of the pools, the day. But because I knew that one. I mean, that was
also the first time we like obviously lots of technical things, but it was the first time of the shoot we dealt with water. So I mean, that was our first foray into it. We knew we'd be dealing with water, but like that was our first like, hey, is it gonna work or not, you know, moment. And I think everybody was on edge because of that. It was like, we hope it's gonna work, you know. I in theory we prepared for this moment, but like in theory
and it all worked out. I mean, it was freaking cold. I was cold.
It was cold.
But
it was so cold.
I mean, yeah, it was so fun to like fall back into that. I mean, when do you get to do stuff like that? You don't get to do water stunts in a real river.
Had you done stunts before?
I had done stunts before, but it's more of like theater training. It's more for stage. I've done like stuff more for stage than film. Yeah. So it's actually easier because the camera is where the camera is, so you can make things look, you know, you only have one like way closing the gap or whatever on one angle of coverage that you're getting. But yeah, like I like physical stuff, and but the stunts that I had, they weren't really, I think there was more like choreography and like things like with Faye and Ari and things like that. So and Violet is the, you know, self-defense person. So they're like for me, it wasn't like the stuff that I was doing was like demanding so much, you know what I mean? Of like physicality or like hurting somebody or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably got more of that than I did, you know? But it was fun. I mean, you know, I had a great time, even though Diana punched me in the face. But I wasn't the only one she punched in the face. She punched. She punched Leela in the face.
Yeah, she was all over the place.
I think she hurt Jason. I don't know.
Yeah, she did.
Diana was out here. Diana, look.
Diana, I didn't know Diana'd be throwing fists at everybody.
Diana's scary on set.
She's precious.
She's a strong lady.
But she took some people out. She took some people out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she did.
So, in true Ari fashion, yes.
In true Ari fashion, she took some bitches out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but, she did. She did. I remember she punched you accidentally, and then she knocked out Layla's the ERZULIE's teeth that got eaten by the river. Roxy's still sad about that.
R.I.P. teeth.
Yeah, it was
right.
And then she did.
Wow.
She had to jump onto Jason, our villain's back, and Jason was like, "Dear God." Yeah. So no, she gets really into it, and
yeah.
Everybody has to run away. Yeah, it was good times. I'm really excited for you to see how it ends up, and I can't wait for you all to be together again and to walk the red carpet. And I hope you guys are proud. Like, I'm so proud of the team. I'm so proud of you guys, and it is an honor for a director, a writer to be able to see your film come to life in the best way imaginable. Like, you write it, you never know how it's going to turn out, and then when it does beyond what you imagined, it's a dream.
Oh
yeah. So you guys are great, and I am lucky to have worked with such beautiful, incredibly talented and strong women, and I hope that women all over the world will be able to watch the film and realize this is for them, you know. So
I think they will.
Yeah. But
Thank you.
So, but ERZULIE film, guys, go watch it.
Yes,
it's coming out.
Come to our mermaid parties.
Come to the mermaid party. Yes, remember it's all the month of May. The way to find out is go to ERZULIEFilm.com. You can sign up. We're doing giveaways per month of the download of the iTunes once it comes out in June. You can come to the events as well. We want as many people as possible. The movie is optional. Just come party with us.
And we still don't know the date on when for iTunes. Do we?
We do. June 14th.
June 14th.
Yes.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, June 14th. We haven't officially announced it. We've just been talking about it for all the special people who spend their time and give us their time to.
Should we not have announced it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been slowly leaking it out. We just haven't officially made.
Oh, right, on Instagram, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to do all that when I have the trailer all done and approved, and Mommy and Daddy says I can release it, all that stuff. So
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. I'm excited for the trailers and the poster and to see the final one.
Yes. So
well, it was an honor working with you guys. I love the environment you guys created for us. I mean, I think there was so much going on behind the scenes that we didn't, realize, but we know that you guys were working so hard to make this film, and we appreciate you guys, and it was inspiring to watch everybody kind of come together and create solutions and see the final I haven't seen the final product yet, but you know what I mean? Like, that's just incredible that you got it's such a talented group of people. And I know you have such a knack for that, Christine, like really finding people's talents and like putting together an amazing crew. And I think, because you have those intentions, it's so clear in like what you guys are able to create. And we did it, we got it.
We did it. That's the biggest thing. Yes. We did it. It hasn't even been a year. It's the release will be like about a year. But yeah, it's done. It's going to have a distribution, and I did it within a year. So we did it. Yeah.
Inspiring. So amazing. Oh my God. I can't wait.
We did a thing.
Excited.
We did a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys. You guys are troopers, man. I know it was rough on you guys.
Well, but it was still a blast.
I was in my cabin.
It was still a blast. It was still one of the best sets I've ever worked on thus far.
Right.
It was just a hard. It would have been hard without money. It's just logistically, it's a hard film. That's all. I mean, if you're going to throw a bunch of people into the swamps of Louisiana, the swamps ain't a like fun place to be at all. No. Like, I don't think like, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go chill out of the swamp. Yeah. It's just like,
and so many things you just don't think about. Like, you see so many films and stuff in environments that are very specific, and you just don't think, well, yeah, no, clearly they have like 1 million lights 5 miles into the forest.
Yeah, right.
like, but until, you know what I mean? And Joel's like an expert, and it's like, wow, and then it looks beautiful and brilliant and like amazing. So then you're like, wow. Like,
and then once that's all gone, then you're just like, it's a swamp. Shit.
Yeah. Like, that's actually what a swamp looks like. It looks like when you see it on TV that's just how it looks, but it's like, no. A lot of work went into that.
It's good lighting, ladies and gentlemen. Great lighting. Makes it all worthwhile. Changes a set too with lighting. It's crazy. You would never have thought that, especially in the art department too, even with props and stuff and simple set dressing. Anyways, we can get into a whole thing. Should we take this bad boy for a landing?
Yeah.
All right.
So make sure to stay tuned next week because Elizabeth is coming on too. Violet,
friend of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. She's making her big and bad return to the party. What else?
Yes. And if you haven't seen the interviews for the rest of the girls, they should be there. So we've
on
talked
ERZULIE
Film? On the Instagrams, and then I saw the
I'm sorry. Yeah. For
but
sure.
We've interviewed Layla, who plays ERZULIE, Zoe, who plays Faye, and Diana, who plays Ari, and now Courtney, who plays Wendy, our lead. So
yes, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
All right. All right, guys, sign up. ERZULIEFilm.com.
ERZULIEFilm.com. ERZULIE.
Need I say more? Need I say more?
Yes.
ERZULIEFilm.com. Previous episodes. And also all the links to the parties, right? Like to all those parties is all going to be
all the
there.
Links to the parties, it will all be there. That's kind of like where everything's happening. I go there first.
Is there a pre-order thing for iTunes?
There's a sign up for a pre-order. Yeah.
There's a sign up for a pre-order. So
you have to do that.
Get on ERZULIEFilm.com and get the pre-order. So the day it comes out, it's just right there chilling in your library. You just be like, hey, this is ERZULIE. Go watch it. Have fun. And watch ERZULIE. Bring your friends along or come to one of our parties. You'll probably see one of us. Come hang out with us, with the cast and crew of ERZULIE. What are you doing, everybody? Let's not waste our time here and experience the way ERZULIE is supposed to be experienced, getting shit-faced in a river.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. No, but sober or not, you want to see this in a communicative experience, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see this with a bunch of people. ERZULIEFilm.com. Previous episodes. There is also a little website you may or may not know, and it's the title of our podcast, but the Get Reelisms book. You need to get it in getreelisms.com. ERZULIEFilm.com is still important though. However, we still got to be slinging books, ladies and gentlemen. Get your books today. Get a poster. What are we doing? You guys are killing me. You guys just think we're just slinging books and we're just doing all this for fun. No, we're doing this because we care, and we care about film for filmmakers, ladies and gentlemen. Get your act together, please. Okay. Was that it, Christine? I think that was it. I think I'm gonna crash here in like 45 seconds. So
and then Adam passes out. And then I
pass out. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I got nothing else. Courtney, thank you so much. You're now a friend of the podcast. So
much.
You come in whenever you want. If you want to just pop in 1 week, just be like, you hit me up, you email, whatever you got to do. We'd love to have you back, Courtney. Thank you. I think that's it, Christine. I think we're gonna go now.
All right, until next
time, guys. ERZULIEFilm.com.
ERZULIEFilm.com. GetReelisms.com. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week with the return of Elizabeth. Yes. The triumphant return, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, Instagram. Goodbye, Facebook. We love ya. All right. Thank you so much now.
Guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.